All right, the first exercise in our notebook is going to be transform. So the way we're going to do that is to take a symbol from the library. This needs to be one that is not a round symbol so that you can really see all of the different effects. And I'm just going to drag this symbol out here 6 times, or I can also copy and paste. So I've got 3. I'm going to copy that, Apple C or Command C. On the Mac that would be Control C. And then I'm going to Control V or Apple V for pasting. And then I'm going to try and get them somewhat aligned. We don't have to be too crazy about this at the moment, but you'll see that those white lines sort of flash when things align. So that's aligning these 2 left edges. And as I bring the next shape over, you can see that it's aligning to the top there. That's pretty good. And now this one is aligning to the top of the other and the side of that one. And we can just go. So they've got this sort of nice snapping feature built in. It doesn't, however, distribute them evenly. If we want them to be a little more perfect, we can open up the Align window. So Window, Align. And this is the Align menu. You've got Align to Stage or Align to Each Other. So for now, I'm going to use the Align to Each Other. And let's say I select all of these. These up here are Align, these are Distribute. What I want to do is distribute the centers of these so that they're even. So I'm going to distribute the centers, and you can see that one jumped a little bit. And then I'm going to grab the lower batch here, and I'm going to distribute the centers, and that one jumped too. Now if I want to be sure, I can actually go back in and make sure that these are aligned. So I'd come up to the upper row now, maybe align them that way. Left or right, doesn't really matter. Now that one jumped a little bit, so we may have to redistribute. Let's see what happens here. Align those together. And those should be fairly good. Now if we really need them to be perfect, we can spend a little bit more time, but for our purposes today, that should be good. Now when you have a menu that you think you might use a lot, you can dock it over here with your other menus, or you can just close it up, whichever you prefer. All right. We're going to actually use the Transform tool to animate these, but you may notice I am on one layer, not a good thing. So I need to get these all on their own layers, and I've got them all laid out nice, so I don't want to have to redo it. But there's this great tool called Distribute to Layers. It's under Modify, Timeline, Distribute to Layers, and it's going to very quickly and neatly put each star on its own layer, and it's going to name each layer star, which is really nice. So I'm going to just get rid of this empty layer. I can tell it's empty because the keyframe is hollow, not a black dot. And if I want to double check, I can turn the eyeball on and off. Sure enough, it's empty. I'm going to delete it, and now I have my 6 stars each on their own layer. I can adjust my workspace a little bit so you can see there's no other layers. Okay. I can now select all my stars. I can select them this way, or I can select the column of keyframes. And then what I'm going to do is add a tween to all of them all at the same time by clicking on them. And again, I don't have my right click mouse, so it's a little tricky, but bear with me. So if I click on them, there we go. I can say create a motion tween, and it adds a motion tween on all 6 of them. And that's exactly where I want to be. So I'm going to now come out to the other end, and now one by one I'm going to modify them at this end. So far the tween that we've done has been just moving from one place to the other. This is going to be going from one shape to the other, or size, or etc., etc. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key to constrain this, and on this end I'm going to make this one smaller. And let's come to the next one, and maybe I'll make this one go bigger. Okay, and let's go to the next one, and let's say maybe this one I want to flip over. So I'm going to drag, and I'm just going to keep dragging all the way across so that it flips over itself. Then maybe for this one, I will spin it. And let's see, for this one, I will just do, especially since this one's kind of interfering with it, I'll do a squash. And then for this one, I will do a skew. We haven't done that one yet. And that one you get by going sort of over the midpoint. All right, so now I've distorted each one of them in a different way, and if I take a look at that, I can see that I've got all these changes occurring. All right, so that's sort of an introduction to using transform over time.